Hi, Carl here for ProAV TV, and today we're going to take a quick look at this nifty little servo zoom controller from Chrosziel. So this is specifically designed for the Fuji MK lenses, and these have been such popular lenses. They're absolutely brilliant. They're one of my favorite lenses for the Sony E-mount cameras. So if you own an FS7 or an FS5 or even maybe an F5 and F55 with the right adapter, these are lovely little affordable cinema small light zooms, but they're fully manual. And so if you want to do a servo zoom like you can on sort of Fuji's higher end lenses, you need this little gadget from Chrosziel. Because these are such light lenses anyway, you really don't want anything adding too much bulk or weight to your setup, which is why I'm so pleased that this little zoom controller is only 220 grams, and that includes the cables. So it's really you're not gonna notice it hanging on the side of your lens at all. It's so lightweight. It uses Sony's own servo rockers from their hand grip, or you can use any LANC controller, because it's simply taking a LANC port from the camera into this and then another LANC port out of this into the controller. And that can actually pass camera communications through it as well. So you still get all the functionality of your Sony grip, including menu control, your joysticks, your user buttons, and your record start and stop trigger, which is absolutely brilliant. So they've built what they're calling 3 different modes into this. So they call it silent mode, documentary mode, and then live/hard cut mode. And effectively what these are is 3 different speed settings for 3 different types of work. So silent mode is gonna, when you push the zoom rocker all the way down, it's just gonna slowly and silently creep forwards or backwards. Documentary is gonna act as normal, like most servo rockers do. And then live/hard cut is going to zoom in and out really fast so that you can really quickly go from telephoto to wide. And this of course only affects the max speed. If you just eke forward on the servo controller, you're going to be able to do slow moves in any of these modes. But it's going to mean that you can really quickly change between each of those 3 modes on the fly. It did take me a while, to be honest, to figure out how to change the modes. It's not exactly intuitive, but basically the way you do it is you hold the servo rocker down to zoom in all the way until it gets to the end, and then just keep holding it for about 10 seconds, and that should change the mode. So if you do that and then you zoom in and out, you should see that it's going a lot faster or a lot slower than it previously was. So you of course need to power the unit. It takes a 5-pin LEMO 0B style connector, and they do a variety of different cables which will allow you to use different power options, because it can take anywhere between 10 and 30 volts, so it's very flexible on the power front. The most common one is probably this one, which is a D-tap style cable, and so if you're using your FS7 rigged out like this, that's nice and easy. You probably have D-tap ports and you're probably using batteries like V-locks, that sort of thing, and so D-taps are really easy for you to do. If you're trying to keep it in a bit of a more of a minimal setup though, you might need something like Switz on-camera batteries that replaces the Sony style ones. It's a bit cheaper than the Sony ones are, and it gives you a D-tap output. So powering something like this makes a lot of sense with the Switz ones. If you're interested in those batteries, they're in the a link to them are in the description down below, so make sure you check those out. They also do a variety of different cables. So they do 2-pin LEMO in case you have that power option. They do a special one to go into the F5 and the F55 straight into the camera body. And then ones to work with things like Steadicam, so 4-pin XLR, things like that. So it's really flexible on the power front. Overall, I think these are really nice little servo controllers. If you own a set of Fuji MKs, you know that they're parfocal and they're brilliant for sort of cinematic style work. But because they're parfocal, you can actually really easily use them for documentary and for live work and things like that. And so having a servo rocker is so useful. And this is a fantastic little way of doing it. But let me know what you think of them in the comment section down below. Do you like to use servo rockers, or do you prefer to zoom manually? Let me know. Thanks for watching. If you want to buy any of these, of course, you can just get in touch with our sales team, or the links to all the products which I've mentioned here will be in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.